Great to be on today's call. How many of us are ready to hang up right now? How many of us got enough, right? Right? How many of us have gotten enough just listening to the testimonials, hearing people just like you that are out there winning at a high level? Ines, congratulations. Really just love the fact that you made a decision that you weren't going to deal with it the way it was. You went out there and did something about it. Brittany, you're always a top producer. Congratulations to you. Alejandra, I watch her work. I watch her day after day get up and go at this business. And look, I'm a hard example to follow, and I know that. And, I tell her, look, you don't have to work like that. We make lots and lots of money. Matter of fact, if you never work again, it ain't going to matter, But the fact that she goes out there every day out of gratitude for what we got our hands on here today is inspirational to me and to her team. Her team's on fire right now. I see Matt Barr on here. This guy is crushing it right now. He made a decision. Tom Barr made a decision. I mean, there's so many people that are all in that same mindset of, let's go out there and take advantage of what we got our hands on. Look, 20 years I've been in living rooms. 20 years I've been literally living room after living room after living room. And look, don't feel bad for me. I made a whole bunch of money doing it, but I also realized that I was unduplicatable. Does that make sense? Meaning I would just cut and run, go to a new city. Rick Cordero will tell you, we were up in New York. We would go bridges and tunnels, and then, move to another city, do it all over again. And the reason I went city to city, and I want you to understand the mindset, is because you can get comfortable fast. How many of us would agree with that? And you can start justifying where you are. You can start getting lifestyle up a little bit, and things aren't that bad. And I got, positivity. And all of a sudden you fall into that rut, that people generally fall in. And so the reason that I would go city to city is because then I didn't have anything. And I had to start with nothing. And I had nobody coming to meetings, and I had nobody at the presentation. So we had to go out and actually recreate our success every time we moved to a new city. It forced us to have to go out there and do the things that we tell people to do. What do we tell people to do? Go talk to people. And so when I moved to a new city, what did I do? Hey, how you doing? My name's Patrick. You're the mailman. Great to meet you. Is that your childhood dream to be a mailman, or do you look at other ways to make money? Hey, how you doing? My name's Patrick. You're the Amazon driver. Yeah, is that your childhood dream, make Jeff Bezos rich, or would you like to be rich? Great. And just do the things that we all know how to go do. But it was uncomfortable. And so here's what my mentality was, is success lives where uncomfortable lives. How many of us would agree with that statement? Success lives where uncomfortable lives. And so, what we did is we were able to go out and do what I had mentioned, but I knew that wasn't something everybody would be able to do. Now you got Zoom. Now you can open any market anytime. Hey, who do you know here? Who do you know there? Pretty soon you're building teams in other places. I'd love to hear how, one of the things that Steve talked about is Kansas City and how they drove into Cleveland, with a bus of people. And I want you to think about that for 1 second. What that does for every single one of us on this line is getting people to those events and getting people to want to go to events, because you can influence over the internet, you can influence over Zoom, but you impact in person. How many of us agree there's a difference between watching a football game and going to the football game? Right? Can we agree there's a big difference between what that feels like and the attention you give it and the excitement that goes along with it? So the fact that these owners are willing to do what they're doing, are willing to get into, that front line type conversations with people. Tony has such an aggressive schedule. Mike Kane's literally at the airport now. These guys are going city to city to city. Mike Kupis was on a multi-city tour so that he could help all of us build our business. And think about that for 1 second. Here they are. They don't need to be doing what they're doing. How many of us agree? There's a lot of other companies that said, hey, look, we made a bunch of money. We're the owners. Things are great for us. But ACN is not happy unless all of us are winning. And for them willing to go out and do what they're doing today, which is creating these events for all of us to plug into. Now, here's my experience, is work into the event. Work into the event, meaning the event isn't the secret, it's the work we do going into the event. The fact that we know on September 11th in New Jersey, that's outside of New York City, we're going to have a mini national convention. Now, let me tell you where decisions are made. Big events. How many of us would agree with that statement? Big events are made, big decisions are made at big events. Let me tell you the time Mike and I were sitting there, we were qualified, we were customer qualified at a big event. And I never even thought that ACN was going to do anything more than make a couple extra dollars, no different than cutting someone's grass, no different than a little side hustle to make a couple extra dollars. See, it never even occurred to me that you could become financially free in this opportunity until I did what? Went to a big event. I can remember when I went to a big event and I was in the audience, literally just nobody sitting in that audience. And I heard somebody that was 26 years old talking about retiring his parents. And it never even occurred to me that number one, you could make enough money to actually retire somebody else, let alone yourself. How many of us would agree that's not a conversation I ever heard anyone have? And he talked about his lifestyle, and he talked about what freedom meant, and he talked about the principles of the wealthy and what it took to become successful. And it radically changed my life. I made a decision that day. And my decision was if one man can do it, so can two. How many of us sort of feel the same way? But if you never get to meet the first man, you can't make the decision that you can do what somebody else did. Look at Roger Bannister. Before Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile, it was impossible. Every scientist, every physician, anybody with any authority, anybody with letters after their name said the human body cannot run a 4-minute mile. And then what happened? He did it. And what happened the next year? People were doing it. Today, high school students break the 4-minute mile. So what changed? What changed is one person showed you it was possible. So think about what these events are going to do for everybody on here today, that you can bring your new people, let them see what an RVP promotion looks like. Let them feel the passion of somebody that worked extremely hard, that started off as a brand new IBO and worked their way up to the compensation plan to hit what's called regional vice president. How many of you want people in the audience to experience that emotional testimonial that they give, where they talk about where they started and they relate to you? See, we came into ACN, we didn't relate to the people that brought us in, but I did relate to that man on stage. I did relate to him. See, although somebody else brought us into ACN, somebody else's story is what created our success because we saw ourselves in that person. And so think about how many people that we can have at these events that get a chance to see their new regional director promotions and get a chance to hear from people just like us. Look, we're the leadership of this company. ACN's going to billions of dollars because of us on this line. Because of us on this line, ACN's going to billions of dollars. But here's my advice to all of you. Number one, go into these events by creating momentum into these events. Look, we're going to be in Atlanta on Friday. Every single one of you knows somebody in Atlanta. But I would get on a Zoom, I would show them the presentation, I would send them already knowledgeable of what they're going to go see. Because I promise we'll sign them up when they're there. Chattanooga, Tennessee tomorrow. Anybody you know in the Chattanooga marketplace, do a Zoom meeting with them today so when they come and meet us tomorrow, we will put them in your business. We will sign them up in your business. Period, done, over and out. You got to get them there for that to happen. So I'm excited about, the opportunity to build in the New York, New Jersey marketplace September 11th, and then the 18th in Cleveland, Ohio. Like, I'm going to both of them. And, I love Tony. Hey, throw down the gauntlet. Look, I know what our team can do. I know the manpower our team brings to this call and the bunch of people that are fired up to go out and take their positions to another level. So I'm real excited to see, how many people that we bring personally to this event and literally sell this event out. Look, I'm looking forward to it saying a sold out event. I promise you, we will personally sell this event out based on the momentum that we have and the momentum we've always had because we've never stopped doing one thing, working. And the reason we've never stopped working, because this is business fantasy land. This isn't work. This isn't a business that you and I have to put tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in capital. I mean, could you imagine owning a restaurant in New York right now? Could you imagine owning a gym in New York? Could you imagine having every little bit of your family savings into some restaurant, your childhood dream, your family mortgaged everything they have, and now all of a sudden they're saying, well, guess what? Some of the guests are not going to be able to eat at your restaurant after you just went 18 months of being beat up, 18 months of trying to survive. Could you imagine being in those businesses? This is business fantasy land. This is the greatest opportunity I have ever seen. For $199, we can go out and print money. And how we do it is by helping people. It's ridiculous. But let me tell you what it's going to take for you to win. The first thing it's going to take is disgust. Some of you got to be disgusted about where you are. Some of you got to be disgusted that you played with this. You know what disgusted me is that my parents had to back out of the driveway at 7 a.m. at 60 plus years old, literally driving themselves to a grave. See, that disgusted me that my parents didn't have enough money in the bank that they could retire with dignity. So guess what? I said, look, I don't need to watch any more TV. I'm not going to any more sporting events. I don't need another happy hour. I don't need to drink another beer. You know what I need to do? Go SVP. That's what I need to do. Second thing that's going to make you extremely successful is a decision. How many of you heard that word? Ines said what? I made a decision. See, once you make a decision, the universe will give you everybody you need. There are people all around you that'll sign up in your team, but until you make that decision, you won't see them. Once you make that decision, all of a sudden your calendar becomes packed. All of a sudden you start looking at all the people that you're going to talk to in your calendar because you made a decision. You said, look, I am not going to take it like this anymore. That's making a decision. Then you got to have desire. Look, Tony, you know what I love? He took people out on his boat or his yacht. You know what Steve affected Steve is like, I need one of these. See, he just got his desire raised. You got to get that desire raised. For some of you, you got to go to an open house this Saturday and go look what a 10,000 square foot house looks like and realize your family should be living there. Your family should be parking their car in that driveway. Go walk into a mansion and go see what a 1,500 square foot closet looks like that people hang their clothes in, and realize that they buy them every day and you can buy them too, but you got to have that desire to want it. You got to have that desire that I will die before I don't get that. And I'm telling you, desire, if you could buy desire, if you could buy a pill of desire, here's what I would tell you. Sell everything you own and buy every piece of desire pill that you could and eat it every single day. If you could buy desire pills, I would say mortgage your house, sell everything you have, and eat every one of those pills every single day. And you know what else it takes? Action. It takes massive action. Look, it's never going to get easier. I can literally pick up a card right now of 1,000,000 cards that all of us have and say, hey, Gene, I got your card. I see you're in real estate. I'd love to get on a Zoom and find out a little more about you and see how I can give you leads for your real estate business. Would that be something of interest? You're probably curious how I'm going to give you leads. Well, let me show you the company that I'm in and how I talk to everybody every day. And guess what everybody day needs? They probably need a house. It seems like you're in the house selling business. Great. We have so much in common. Let's do business together. And then the final thing, resolve. Resolve, let me tell you what resolve is. I will be there. Resolve is I will do it. Resolve is you can count on me. Resolve says no matter what happens, I don't care what happens left of me. I don't care what happens right of me. I don't care what the people above me are doing. I don't care what the people below me are doing. I don't care what the people all around me are doing. I will do it. And once you come to that place, let me tell you what happens. Time, fate, circumstances, everybody gets together and has a meeting, and here's what they say. They're going to die if they don't have it. And we're never going to let anyone die, so we'll just go ahead and give it to them. And that's what we have our hands on. So think about us being able to be together. How many of you are getting something out of here? How many of you would love to be in a room right now, feeling the energy of everybody around? How many of you would be literally spitting fire, ready to run out of that meeting and take over the world? Well, guess what? That's what these events are going to do. These events are going to light our teams up to the point where we're going to burn that city down when we leave. I promise you, there will be nobody safe. And let me tell you the last thing I have to say. Nobody in the world right now wants to work except online. Nobody. They can't bribe people enough money to go out and work. Everybody wants what we have. If you would have told me in 2019 the number one thing in the world would be a home-based business, my brain wouldn't have been able to accept that as being true. How many of us agree this is the number one thing in the world right now is working from home? It's the number one thing in the world. And you are in the number one company that we have no competition. Nobody else is doing what we're doing. Nobody else has what we have. Nobody has leadership like we have at the top of our company with the 4 co-founders willing to do what we want. And here's what I'll say is do not live in regret. Do not be one of those people that look back and say, you know what, I wasted the greatest times in the history of this company is right now. It's never been 199. I mean, I can't even believe we're still talking if it's 199. I was like, look, let's go. Let's sign up. Let's get this on. Let's go make money here together. So, guys, I'm excited. I see Joel. I see all these guys. They're out there making it happen. These guys are running. They're leading from the front, and we're looking for some other people to run with as well. So, Tony, I can't wait for the next 2 days, brother. Tennessee's never going to be the same after us. And I promise you, Atlanta will never be the same after us. So I'm excited to be in those two markets with you, Tony. And thank you for all you do. Thank you for what you continue to do. You don't have to do it. See, it's one thing to have to do it. It's one thing you have to go do it because you got bills to pay and things like that. It's another thing to do it when you don't have to do it. And that's where you guys are. You guys don't have to do what you're doing, but you're out there doing it. And that's a different type of mindset to do it when you don't have to do it. So thank you for, continuing to believe in people like us, Tony. And we will all show you our appreciation by stuffing people in the system and stuffing them in these rooms until they're sold out. And you call us up and say, we got to get a bigger room because every ticket's gone weeks before the event even starts. So thanks you again. I'm going to turn it over to you, my friend.
Man, you got me motivated. I got to tell you that. I know you motivated everyone else, but I'll tell you what, listening to you, you make me realize what I hope all of us realize is that we have it is the single greatest business concept I think that all of us are going to see in our lifetime. I mean, when you just rattle off little things like, the way I always look at ACN, how can you be excited about it? First, you have to look at it from the eyes of somebody else. We're all in ACN, but look at it from the eyes of somebody else. Where can you get involved in a business for $199, $25 a month and get all the support that ACN gives you? An online store, and all the service and support you could ever want from that. And on top of that, get things like up to 20% on services. You couldn't get that anywhere. First of all, you couldn't even participate in these industries as an individual, but we do it. So we have something unique. We have something great. And it's interesting because we always talk about hard work. We always talk about working hard. But I always struggle with that because the busiest, hardest day in ACN to me is not hard. I did hard work in my lifetime. I used to tar roofs. I did irrigation and landscaping. Things like that, to me, that's hard. That's physically hard labor. We socialize with people. We promote a great business. We ask people to try services. This is just all about doing it. Every one of you that are on this Zoom, you're RDs and higher. Now, when you're an RD and higher, that means that you have, no matter what level of momentum you are at the moment that you make that decision, like Pat said, and you flip that switch and you're ready to work tomorrow, the moment you're willing to work at the RD level and higher, your compensation is incredible. The way you get paid as an RD is awesome. It just gets better at RVP. It gets better at SVP. But if you kickstart your engines tomorrow, you can start earning income right now by helping other people. So it's all about being in phase one. It's all about doing the basics and doing the basics every single day. That's what it's about. To me, it's not hard work. It's just doing the business every single day, and you're going to get results. There's never been a better time in ACN's history. We've got all the support you could ever ask for, all these great events coming up. Now is the time to take advantage of it. So we appreciate all you guys listening. We're going to open up the call so we can all say hi to each other. And we look forward to seeing all of you at an up-and-coming event. So thank you guys all for your time and have a great, great rest of your day.
Merci beaucoup. Bonne soirée. Yes. Bonne journée.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
You guys are the best.
You're incredible.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Everyone.
Appreciate you.
Merci beaucoup. beaucoup.
100, 100.